Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placement. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Capricorn, is number 20 and it says transformation. So 2 and 20 are coming through important with this energy. There is a snake in this picture and it looks like the snake is trying to elevate to the raised platform to see what's going on. So this is that pause to look what's going on before taking that action. And because it's a snake out here, snake is like the shedding of old skin energy. It's 8th house. It's leaving something, an aspect of you or an aspect of your past behind for something different. But this portal, this change that happens when you leave, when the snake leaves the skin behind, they cannot put that skin back. So it's an irreversible change. This is like a one-way street. Once you cross this portal, once you make this change, it's not a U-turn. You cannot go back to who you were before this change. So something deep inside of you, Capricorn, is changing. It's maybe a restructuring something. Maybe it's a lifestyle change that you're making in a big way. But for the most part, I feel like it looks like an identity shift for you. Something at the core of you is shifting. And whatever shift that is inside of you could be emotional because it's like a Scorpio energy that is a fixed water sign. So it could be in your emotional space, something is shifting, some belief system or some identity that is changing for you. It's the way that you do things. It's the way that you show up in the world is going to change. Now, with this snake energy over here of death and rebirth, there is something about Plutonic energy. And Saturn is your ruler, Capricorn, but Pluto energy is at play because of the Scorpionic energy, which means that making drastic shifts. There is changes that probably you wanted to make, but now you are ready to make those changes. You're finally taking action on those changes, whether it's a big move, whether it's a career move or whether it's a physical move. But there is something that you have been researching, thinking, analyzing, over-analyzing, maybe digging up information, digging up truths and things like that. But now you are ready to leap into that new you in a big way. You know, it could be that you've been doing something for a long time, but now you're ready to make that huge change. Maybe it's a career change, but it's something that you're doing consciously. For some of you, this could be, venturing into spirituality, deeper spirituality, or creating something around spirituality, maybe a spiritual practice, or maybe you're opening up retreat centers. Something that you're changing, a structural change that you're leaving. Maybe it's a structure that you created for yourself, or maybe you're shifting cities, moving to a completely different city or to a different state or to a different country even. So you spend years doing something, building something for yourself, whether financially or you built maybe like you were known as the best banker in town, but now this transformation is upon you and it's so strong that your soul is demanding this change. So now you're turning into, I wouldn't say turning into, this transformation is not about becoming someone else. It's a transformation where you are releasing and burning away everything that's not authentically you. So it could be that you're moving back to your hometown, or you're actually changing cities and countries, or you're relocating somewhere which is completely different to who you are. And when you make these big life changes, whether in career or whether physical moves, our brain gets rewired to that different place, that different, the different people. and the adopt a new identity. So it's that kind of an energy, Capricorn. I don't know what's going on. Let me know in the comments below, but it's something like, the phone company, like Nokia, they started creating the first phones because, I really like their phones. I've been, I've also tried some of them. So they were a phone manufacturer, but then they did not succeed in that area. So they transformed their business and they got into telecommunications, in different areas of telecommunication, which they did really well in. So they created a new identity in order to, survive in the market and things like that. So something all that you are declaring from your life, whether it's leaving a job or whether it's, selling a house that you've had for a long time or some contract that you have been and you're leaving that. But it's because you have integrated some spiritual practice or you've elevated spiritually and now your soul is calling for you to transition into something else. So a business, maybe you thought that it's not possible for you to do it because you are a doctor. And now you're becoming, you're having a spiritual retreat or something like that. So you're exploring your industries and your passions, something which is very different from what people are used to seeing you as. You're not playing those traditional roles. You're becoming a different person, being more aligned with what your soul is calling you to be. So it's that moment where your outer life, your outer security is now being changed, shifted, or you might be giving up or you're sacrificing to follow your soul's calling. It's like people, they retire early from corporate jobs because they want to pursue their passion, in a completely different field. So something that is changing in a big, big way for you, an irreversible thing, which is shifting from the core of your being. The next card you have, Capricorn, is number 20, and it's transformation again. So this is a huge transformation which is happening. It says Moon in Scorpio, a change in your emotional life. And there is Moon here, which reflects our emotions, our subconscious, what we think, what we feel, our intuition, something deep emotionally beneath the surface, which not everybody can see, but you can feel. There's a butterfly here, a big one. So there's snakes and butterflies, all the symbols of transformation. And this moon is rising from the deep waters. There's a water body here and the moon is rising. So I feel that moon is about reflecting on our emotions, right? It's deep introspection. It's honoring your emotions, what you feel, being honest with yourself. So there is a rebirth out here for you, Capricorn. You're feeling emotions deeply. There is huge intensity out here. Hidden things, hidden emotions, hidden feelings are coming to the surface. It could be some thoughts from your subconscious, some desires from your subconscious. Because Scorpio energy is all about 8th house, depth, transformation, the shadow work, emotional depth, emotional power, the power of emotions to transform our life in a big, big way. So there is, butterflies stand for metamorphosis. It's a huge transformation, and I feel it's in your emotions. So you are coming out, your deep desires are now coming out, are now revealing themselves to you. So I do feel that there is something that you need to let go, an attachment, an emotional attachment, or some identity of yourself that you were tethered to. So now you are becoming an emotionally resilient or an emotionally different person. It's this huge moment of alchemy where, things that you buried inside of yourself, maybe your fears, your feelings, something of an emotional pattern that has, quietly controlled your life. This could be that, a workplace, a work environment that you have been, tethered or strongly holding on to. Maybe your team that you like, that you've been holding on to, even though you did not like the work. Or it's, something about yourself that you believe to be true. but now you're something else. So I feel that your emotions are surfacing up. You are talking about it maybe with your loved ones. You're pulling the courage to talk and have those bold conversations. Things could be changing. Things could be ending around you because now you're making way for new starts, new beginnings, and new chapters. This is a lot of emotional stir up. You're taking huge leaps emotionally. These are emotional aha moments, you know? I mean, it's a cathartic release, something that you have been going through deep within. A huge breakdown right now, Capricorn, for you. A huge breakthrough, a huge aha moment. I'm not sure how many of you know about the Negretto stage. It's that, during transformation, especially alchemical transformation, it's called the blackening moment or the blackening phase where all of the old material is completely broken down. And then then there is transformation into gold. That's what this Scorpio energy is all about, you know, when we deconstruct our emotions completely and now we are reborn into somebody different who feels differently, who communicates differently, who presents themselves differently. So there are some traumas that you have experienced probably in the past, the emotions that you've buried and now they're resurfacing up and it's causing a huge transformation inside of you. You know, after the pandemic, every country came together to speak about mental health because it did disturb a lot of people emotionally. So people were forced when they were in lockdown, they confronted their emotional struggles that were deep-seated issues. And then a lot changed in a lot of people. You know, it was a huge change culturally across nations, across cities, across cultures. People were shifting up, you know, their friendships. They were leaving their people that they were associated with in a long, long time. They were leaving jobs that were draining to them. They were, creating boundaries for themselves. They did a lot of shadow work. That's a huge psychology out there, you know, a lot of trauma healing. And I feel that some of you might be actually, you know, using therapy as a means to release your traumas or reveal those desires that you've buried in yourself for a long, long time. This is deep here, Capricorn. You are becoming a forever changed person, believe it or not. And this is like a huge shift. I've heard of a lot of people who shift careers, who go back to college after 20 years of working in a certain career because their soul is calling at them. They train in different domains and then they find a different kind of work which feels more meaningful to them than ever before. So some kind of a transformation, you know, maybe hidden emotions or heartbreaks that you've experienced in the past that you did not heal from completely. Or these might be painful experiences or painful experiences of the past, and it could be any kind of a painful experience that you survived or went through. You know, even culturally, we went through this huge change. Like they were, even when you were talking about grief or, you know, about trauma earlier was a taboo, but now it's becoming like a popular thing. It's becoming mainstream. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's discussing it. Everybody's trying to find solutions to it. The next card you have, Capricorn, is number 41, and it says magic. So number 4, 1, and 5 are coming through prominent with this energy. If you look at the picture, it's so beautiful. It's actually, it feels like magic. Magically, this mirror, this person who's standing in front just magically created this mirror out of nowhere. But that's not what it is. Yeah, it's that moment, Capricorn, I feel, where you're using the moon cycles or the unseen truths or forces of the universe to create something, to manifest something tangible in your life. It's like, you're ruled by Saturn. So, of course, there is discipline. And Capricorn, you're the mountain gods. You keep plugging away. So, you know you put in the work, you put in that hard work. But this is a magical moment where you are transcending any limitations that you felt while creating a reality, or you felt that you could not create your reality or manifest your dreams because of some kind of limitation that you thought. Maybe it was a mental a limitation or an emotional or a spiritual limitation that you put on yourself. But this is like the magical touch, the mirascha touch. It's like maybe you're launching a business and you have a product that you're trying to sell. So now you are actually look at the picture. Now, for example, the Elsa, the Frozen, they packaged the movie with a lot of branding. Like there were Elsa bags, there were Elsa hats and clothes and everything. So it created a brand in itself. It created that magical touch, right? So that's what I mean. Like, it's like putting your attention, they say where the attention goes, the energy flows. That's the kind of energy over here. Whatever you're focusing your attention to, Capricorn, is actually getting manifested. You have the Midas touch right now because everything that you're visualizing is now getting manifested. It's like, manifestation techniques out there that are actually, if you see the quantum videos, the neuroscience videos, they show a lot of manifestation techniques. And if you combine that with, lunar cycles or astrology and the stars and cosmos and universal planning and things like that, you can actually create the reality. You can actually manifest your dreams. There's a lot of layers to it, but you being Capricorn, you're putting in the work in that direction. You're exploring each and every layer of vision boards, or you experimenting with a lot of styles and creative processes, or something that's your self-expression, and you are creating your reality where there's a lot of intention, there's a lot of practice, repractice, planning, skill, applying your skill, applying the cosmic rules, manifestation boards and things like that. It's like when you write those goals during a new moon cycle and you put it in a journal, and after some time, when you go back to that goals list, you see that everything has manifested for you. Even though it could have manifested in a different way than what you had imagined, that it did manifest, So it's that creative process where you set those intentions and light those candles and put the music, and you have your own rituals that you have created, and suddenly you manifest like whatever you had in mind. It's that kind of a manifestation magic. And the last card for today, Capricorn, you have is the Daughter of Wands, and it's in the reverse for you. And again, there is a sneak out here. So much sneak imagery in this small reading for you, Capricorn. It's unbelievable how huge this transformation is. You're shedding in a big, big way. Here in the reverse Daughter of Wands, I feel this is that hesitation that you were having before, which you now are overcoming. You're transcending this. So I do feel that you did feel some kind of delays or blockages in ideas or creativity. Maybe you are fearful of failure, fearful of exhibiting yourself, showing your talents, speaking up. You've been wanting to reinvent yourself, wanting to make those changes, but then you were not clear on what is the way forward, how to do it, how to bring about those changes, how to refine my strategy, how to adjust and things like that. But this was just time for calibration. I feel you did that, and you're ready to take that leap forward, because when the universe is giving you the time to recalibrate, to take that pause which you need, whether it's to align the ducks in a row, or to sharpen your skills, or to sharpen your resources, to get all the resources in line. It's that moment where you had a love that you wanted to do, but then you were not able to act on it. And you saw that right from the get-go, the sneak, the pause before acting on it, before leaping forward. But now you're ready for it. You're not quitting. You are just refining, fine-tuning things, regaining back your confidence. Maybe you were tired, maybe you were exhausted even. But now it's like, when everything's ready, and whether you're publishing a book, you're ready. You just haven't sent that draft or that script to the publisher. It's that moment, where you're scared, like, is it going to sell? Is it going to this, that, and the third? Maybe it's imperfect. But I feel that you have been putting in a lot of effort, energy. You've been learning up about a lot of things, and it's just that you were not able to channel that correctly. It's that this snake is, the number 8. It's the Ouroboros. It's Kundalini energy. That idea which is not fully realized, that, not the fully channeled or awakened energy. So, and even the thing is, like, even when this Kundalini is like lying dormant, it still, will send those messages to your subconscious. You'll start feeling it in your gut. You'll start dreaming about it. So it's that kind of a vibe. This is very deep Capricorn for you today. You've been meaning to make those big shifts, big life moves, but then you were probably just, over analyzing or stuck researching or upskilling yourself, like not being ready. No matter how much you are ready, you are still not ready. So it's that energy of, like, if you wanted to go public with something, you want to just test it out on a small audience before you release something. It's that kind of an energy. And this happens all the time, when you're starting something different, creative, or the doubts will just flood us. There are setbacks, especially when you're publishing a book. You have to sometimes, make the changes again and again and again, so you feel like the momentum is dull. But then one draft is going to click and your book gets published. So before that momentum where the book gets published or where you put yourself out into the world, a lot of doubts, a lot of learning, a lot of setbacks happen. And there's a lot of hesitation, will it succeed? How much more energy? So it's just that, sometimes we dull our own momentum and our spark dies because of so many falls, year after year or season after season, whatever this is for you. I have known about startups that they wanted to pitch to their investors for a long, long time. And because they were not getting the chance to do so, or maybe because, they were not getting the dates or availability from the investors, they kept, working on their product. And by the time they got the dates from the investors for, visiting or pitching their product, it was a completely different product. So it's like, initially, there's a lot of hurdles, hiccups, challenges, constraints, slow movement, but then suddenly everything comes together and then boom, there's a huge big launch. And I keep repeating this over and over again. The COVID era, that was a huge pause globally. Millions of people, they wanted to rethink their career, their place, their location. Sorry about that noise. So these are general energies, Capricorn. Let me know how they play out in your life and hope you enjoyed your messages. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.